how somebody could use virtual reality for health.
So the way our content has been developed is it's film. It is very realistic. And so we had initially conceived this as a way to relieve patients who are going through chemotherapy or radiation, or dialysis patients who are basically stuck sitting in a very dulled and sterile environment almost every day or weekly for hours and hours. And so based on medical studies, it has been proven that through virtual reality, once they extract themselves from this reality, the healing process is faster and they are anemically feeling much better.
Welcome to the 12-Minute Talks podcast presented by Mom Life and Health Insurance Agency. Learn actionable insights from our guests in just 12 minutes. Each episode features business owners, entrepreneurs, and industry experts who share their experiences and strategies.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the 12-Minute Talks podcast. I'm excited to have with us today Marcela Arbelaez from Reality Wellness, where virtual reality for patients in treatments. They believe that healing extends beyond the physical. It's about nurturing the mind and spirit too. So this is going to be a really interesting topic today. Thank you so much for being on today.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
Yeah, so I think when I saw what you guys did, I'm like, wow, this is such an interesting topic. We hear often about AI and virtual reality. It's like people are going to be walking around bumping into things, right? But I think this is a use case that is really interesting and might help a lot of people. But before we get into exactly what it is that you guys do at Reality Wellness VR, can you tell us a little bit about how you got started in the industry?
Well, so as I was telling you, I'm a serial entrepreneur, and I own a multilingual translation agency. And through that agency, I met these friends from Argentina who are film producers and software developers. And because I have also through my agency really um, long lasting clients in the health industry, they asked me, okay, would you like to help us with the strategic growth of our company in the United States? So all of them have been seasoned filmmakers, producers, and software developers. And when I sat down and they gave me the demonstration, I was convinced that this was something I needed to approach.
Fantastic. So I was looking through your website and I thought it was really interesting what they're doing with the virtual reality. It talks about like helping for meditation and also for like I saw it as like for veterans maybe going through like PTSD, things like that. Can you tell
Correct.
us a little bit about what it is? Like give us an example of how somebody could use virtual reality for health.
So the way our content has been developed is it's film. It is very realistic. And so we had initially conceived this as a way to relieve patients who are going through chemotherapy or radiation, or dialysis patients who are basically stuck sitting in a very dulled and sterile environment almost every day or weekly for hours and hours. And so based on medical studies, it has been proven that through virtual reality, once they extract themselves from this reality, the healing process is faster and they are anemically feeling much better. So once they are using the virtual reality goggles, then they can find themselves in another environment which they may choose. They can be in a city, they can be in nature. It's a 360 experience. You don't have to be walking, right? You can just lay back And then wherever you look, you can look up, you can look down, you can even feel like you are levitating, right? And then you can close your eyes and you hear the sounds of nature, as opposed to a hospital where you're sitting like just with your arms extended and you don't know what to do. You're just looking in the empty space.
Right.
So since this has been proven, um, for the healing process, accelerating the healing process, it also led to the alleviation of mental health issues, post-traumatic stress disorder, and anxiety as well.
Okay, so I'm gonna stop you there because that was a lot of information. Let's make sure everybody listening or watching understands. So basically, somebody's going through something at a hospital, chemotherapy, dialysis, right? Something that they're
Mhm.
there for a long time. This is a good way that, yes, they're obviously physically there, but in their mind, they're watching a film or like being immersed in a film, right? To help maybe make it more peaceful or make it an easier thing to do, right? And then,
Yes. Mhm.
yes, and then now you were talking about anxiety, which I think a lot of people have anxiety. I do health insurance, and a lot of people ask me, "Oh, does it cover this medication or that medication?" When I look it up, I'm like, "Oh, it's anxiety," and this person's like 27, right? So I feel like that's going to be something that's probably even more with kids growing up now, right? Um, so this virtual reality can also help with anxiety based on what you were saying.
Yes, correct. We have noticed that there are ways to do meditation while you are immersed in these different worlds, right? So mm, we are looking into doing a demo in mass with a yoga guru that involves having a group of people immersed in the same space. Um, it has been proven that transcendental meditation and meditation help mitigate anxiety and panic attacks. And in this case, it's basically you are extracting yourself from that everyday life that you are maybe feeling trapped into, and can be virtually extracted into another landscape that is coming. We have some of our content is in Patagonia with these wonderful waterfalls, and it's really vivid. It's remember, it's a film. Hmm.
Okay. And I mean, who doesn't want to be in Patagonia? I've heard that's really pretty, right?
Exactly.
With the waterfalls. But I like that it serves a purpose, right? To help people overcome these things or make it easier. Now, is the virtual reality, I understand you guys are the ones making the films, is that correct?
Yes,
Okay.
correct.
Does the person have to have the VR, like the Apple one or the Meta, or is it something that comes when they purchase a film?
We offer both options. If you already own any kind of equipment, we can provide you with new content as often as you need it, right? We have a library with content that you can choose from. And if, for instance, in hospitals or educational institutions and VA centers, normally they need at least six, or at least the minimum that we provide has been six equipment with um, everything. You can sterilize it, you can store it, and you can choose the product that you prefer. We have certain products that we offer because they're better in terms of pricing, uh, but if you already have the equipment, we provide the content, which is our main interest, that you get equipment. Sorry, video content as often as possible.
Okay. And so then basically, so like the VA hospitals or any hospital is one way they would purchase the equipment, and then the videos from you, right?
Correct.
And then the other one is just individuals that maybe want to do this on their own. Um,
Exactly.
mhm. And so is this for like individuals? Is it a monthly membership or do they pay for the videos? How does that work?
For we have a library, and there can be a way for them to update remotely, right? Because all this equipment is connected to the internet, um, and then yes, they can choose what kind of content they would like to do. We have a library, and we can also create custom content. It all depends on what kind of membership or what kind of service do you want to get.
Fantastic. Well, I think this has been very valuable information for a lot of people out there. And how can somebody reach out to you if they would like more information?
Well, I'm not sure if you have my email or if you will publish the email. It's Arbelaez at realitywellnessvr.com, but I'm sure you are going to publish that. Um, we are working with children's hospitals, with veteran affairs, with different institutions that, including, in fact, recently somebody asked us about a school. So to mitigate anxiety for teenagers. So absolutely, any questions, please visit our website, email me. I'll be happy to share all our case studies with you.
Fantastic. And like always, I will have all of the links down below, and in this case, an email that you can reach out for more information. And I just wanted to quickly introduce myself for those of you that don't know who I am. I'm Lorena Tomasini, and I'm the owner of Mom Life and Health Insurance Agency, where I help families and businesses with their financial protection needs. And Marcela, I do have one last question for you. What would you say is like a good book or maybe something they can listen to learn more about virtual reality?
Well, I recently read Quantum Body by Deepak Chopra, and I really thought that it doesn't teach about virtual reality, but it does teach you about how do you channel the energy in your body and in your mind to heal. I would recommend that book highly for those who are into that kind of literature.
Yeah, perfect. So I will put the link down below as well for that book. And yeah, like they say, your mind controls everything, right? Especially in a tough situation, right? It's about how you react to it, not always, right?
Correct.
Depending on what it is. But
It's
that it definitely helps, right? To have a positive mental attitude no matter what's going on, right?
exactly, exactly. In a way, what we want to do at Reality Wellness is to offer like a cutting edge, clinically backed solution for people to extract themselves from their current reality that might not be uh, the best, to kind of heal through the process of extracting themselves and coming into very calming environments where they can feel stress free, and just like in transcendental meditation, you are not in the problem, you're over the problem.
That's great. Well, Marcela, it's been fantastic having you today on the 12-Minute Talks podcast.
Thank
Is
you.
there anything else you would like to add?
No, thank you so much. I'm very happy to have been here. I thank you so much for the invitation, and I look forward to hear more from you as well, and from anyone who has any kind of question. We will be happy to resolve this by email, or just contact us.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Thank you for tuning into this episode of the 12-Minute Talks podcast, presented by Mom Life and Health Insurance Agency. If you enjoyed today's conversation, remember to share and subscribe. Connect with us on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Remember to make it a great day.